I don't know why I'm looking for cars. There's nothing. They're so big. The road's disappeared, which I'm not thrilled about. I immediately booked tickets to Romania when I found that out. Probably not the kind of place I'd want to bring someone else. Without a doubt, that was worth it.
Alături de o serie de alți lideri.
I've got no idea what the speed limit is. I'm kind of trying to keep up with the car in front of me and not annoy the car behind me. The road's disappeared, which I'm not thrilled about. Come on, tiny rental car. You can do it. Oh, I'm really not happy. There's no way that was the best route, but the road has reappeared. I'm gonna have to check the car for dings and dents, I feel like. I'm sweating. I haven't seen another car in about half an hour. We're just kind of driving into the middle of nowhere, endlessly. Welcome to Teleorman County, southern Romania. Yesterday we drove from almost Ukraine, 8 hours south to almost Bulgaria, which is a long drive. Why am I here in Teleorman? Because this is the least visited place in Europe. So as soon as I heard that, I had to come, honestly. I mean, the least visited place in Europe? I immediately booked tickets to Romania when I found that out. That's what happened. My cabbages. It's market day. This market smells like dill pickle and celery. But like in a very nice way, honestly. All the veg you could possibly want. Like, this is a really bustling market. This, I think, is the... I'm going to take a guess. The busiest place in town. The town I'm walking around, where I'm stopping, is called Rossiori de Verde, which kind of sounds a bit Italian, doesn't it? Or French, but I think Romanian is the only Eastern European language that's based in Latin. So every now and again I read a sentence, I look at something and go, oh, I understand what that is. That's opticians. There's other context clues, sometimes I go into that. I've only really been wandering around for about 5 or 10 minutes, but I fear I'm running out of town to explore pretty quick. Banca Transylvania! I bet they get sick of that pretty quick. You know, doing the Dracula accent. But you can't help it, can you? Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's the Hotel Transylvania. Yeah. Those guns must be quite ominous if you're that building over there. They're pointing right at it. I think that's the local council, it says. Consular locale. I guess it's a good little threat to make sure you're doing your job right, or we'll get you. I think I'm done with this particular town. The people to bench ratio in this park, incredible. It's mostly benches. It's very serious chess playing was going on, and then some people who look like they're having fun playing Rummikub. I think that's the difference. When it's chess, your intellect's on the line, right? People playing Rummikub are just hanging out, slinging some tiles around. They look like they're having a good time. Well, they all look like they're having a good time. I think there's a chance I've seen and done everything there is to see and do in Rossiori de Verde. So I think it's time to head out and explore the rest of Teleorman. I'm going to be heading toward Alexandria, which is the capital city. I don't know if city should be in quotes or not, but we'll see. I'm a little bit concerned about the parking situation, but I'm going to go ahead with the, with the idea that it's probably going to be fine. There are some serious potholes in this road. I am on my way to Alexandria, but I've driven through probably 100 small Romanian villages in the past week. And this one in Buzescu really stood out as being a bit different. Every house here is a ginormous mansion. The houses here are all about 20 times bigger than any of the houses I've seen in all of Romania. The reason for all these ginormous 5-story houses, which are so bizarre to see, is because in the 1980s, I'm being waved at. I wish I knew what they were saying. Anyway, in the 1980s, it was the Roma community of this town who discovered that they could go to all the factories and strip them full of metal and sell all the metal on a completely unregulated market. And they made an absolute fortune. There is perhaps a bit of an irony about the most opulent houses I've ever seen being residents of a Roma community. But they just took advantage of the situation, and this is what they did with the money. They built massive houses. They're so big. It's like being on the Las Vegas Strip in Romania. They're so big. Well, the old Buzescus of town seem very friendly. I like that. It's very easy to understand that a lot of people confuse Roma, the Roma people, with Romania. But they're not. I think they're actually from northern India, aren't they, the Roma people? And because of that, they certainly looked different to the native population. And that meant that it wasn't until the mid-1800s that Roma people became free of slavery in Romania. They were held as slaves in the most brutal sense of the word. Completely chattel slavery, and you know, you had a baby whilst you were a slave, your owner owned the baby. And that didn't get abolished here until about 200 years ago now almost. I can understand a little bit why the Roma people would go, we're going to build massive houses. Ginormous houses. Alright, everyone remember that I parked there. I don't know if I'm allowed to park there, but I parked there. So I'm in Alexandria, the capital of this region. I think we'll give it a bit of an explore. That guy was the mayor of Teleorman, Alexandria Kofi. It says magistrate, publicist, vocalist, violinist, and performer of romances. And he was mayor twice, and he's wearing a sprightly top hat. This is St. Alexander's Cathedral. I suppose the town is called Alexandria, so they must have a deep connection with St. Alexander, who's an Orthodox saint. I think it's an Orthodox church. You can kind of feel that the moment you walk in. But that's it. If you look up Alexandria, and you go to Google, and you look for points of interest, this is it. This is the point of interest. There's a chance I might be done wandering around. I did see a park, which I might go to. It was certainly a very beautiful building, and people were in there kissing all the epitaphs of all the saints, which is not something I've seen before. Teleorman. It's definitely proving difficult for a tourist, but I am enjoying my time. I don't know if I'd recommend it so far to anyone else, or if they would even care that it was recommended by someone. But I'm enjoying myself. I've got some plans for tomorrow. The park had bathrooms, so regardless of anything, I'm a huge fan. €2 to go to the bathroom. What's that? Like 20p? Central Park is just a very small park filled with a lot of very bored teenagers, I feel like. China Mega Shop. That's exciting. I stand corrected. It is, in fact, not particularly that interesting. No ticket, so that's a good sign. Just a few angry dogs. which I can deal with. Technically, I've got dog treats in my bag. I'm waiting for the moment. You know, I quite like driving in Romania. It's got just enough rules of the road for it to be a perfectly functioning system, but not so many rules that I can't do, you know, like a 3-point turn in the middle of a high street. Hello. You're well looked after. You got a nice little pillow on the bar. This is the hotel I'm stopping at. The Hotel Pensuia Maria? Something along those lines. Oh, it's outside. It's about £35 a night, and I am really happy I'm stopping here in this town rather than in the capital of Alexandria, because this little town feels like it's got more life. It's a bit less concrete, if that makes any sense. You could just about see the market bustling on over there. And this looks like the perfect place to do a Romania pop in a bar. Romania pop in a bar? Almost works. We're going to start out with a bar, I think, just called Rom. It's got the Romanian flag on it. They sell them everywhere. It's called Rom. I've got to imagine these are the pride of Romania. Surely. Bucharesti, it says. I guess they're made in Bucharest. Smells like a chocolate bar. Wow. It's got a filling. It's fine, is what I'm going to say. It's got a slight perfume taste to it, almost like there's a liqueur inside, which I highly doubt. I don't need to eat another one. But I give this, it's about a 5 out of 10. But according to the package, it's authentic rum, so can't go wrong with that, surely. To wash it down, I've got a drink that I highly doubt is Romanian, because it's got cactus in it. Cactus and apple, I want to say. The birds are circling. Is this meant to be easy to open? Got it. Smells aloe vera-y. I've got no idea what cactus tastes like, but I imagine it tastes like this, if that makes sense. If I had to guess what cactus tastes like, this would be what I'd guess. So I'm going to go ahead and say it tastes like cactus. It's flat, it's not carbonated. It's apple-y as well. But it's got like a aloe vera-y cactus-y taste, which is, I think, what they're going for, so I'm going to say it's good. Oh, it is product of Romania, I think is what that says. Something Romania. That's nice. This would be good with tequila in it. Just saying. I really like that. Yeah, that's a solid 8. What a successful pop in a bar. Romania, you haven't let me down. I don't need another one of these, but I would have another one of these. And this is my hotel room. Perfectly pleasant. Probably not the kind of place I'd want to bring someone else or be for much longer than 3 nights, but other than that, it's absolutely fine. I'll be honest, the bathroom smells a lot like pipes, so I'm keeping the door closed and the window open. You know that sewerage smell that you sometimes get? It's not bad, but it's not fantastic. There is the distinct lack of any lamps. There's no kettle either, which is disappointing. But again, I can live. We have a beautiful view of the outside. We have a painting that is definitely not of this town, would be my guess. The bed has been fine, and I've got a fridge, which is really good. Well, the fridge has 2 settings. Setting 1 is warm milk, and setting 2 is just incredibly loud. You might think, is he going to eat all those olives? Yes. Yes, I am. And I bought balsamic vinegar. Fantastic. I suppose this is technically a lamp, but it's not exactly got many lumens. I'll just get, is this a natural position? This hotel's absolutely fine. I've quite liked it. The staff here are really nice, actually, so that's something. And actually, probably wouldn't go on your honeymoon here, but for me, it's just more than I need. The lady working here said, slam it. So I slammed it. I was in Romania about 15 years ago, and the one thing that I remember kind of burned into my memory was how bad the roads are. You know, they're not been too bad. Potholes haven't been, I mean, if you don't pay attention, you will be completely destroyed by an errant pothole. But they're not too bad. The thing that is really weird is just how uneven the road is. But one thing I find very difficult is I've been driving for about half an hour, and I must have seen, I don't know why I'm looking for cars, there's nothing. I must have seen about 4 or 5 dead dogs in the street, and I'm finding that very difficult to deal with. Every day I've seen about 5 to 10 just roadkill, dead dogs, cats, mostly dogs in the street. And I think Romania probably does have a pretty big problem with stray dogs. And I don't know if it's just my sensibilities or anything, but it's kind of breaking my heart a little bit seeing all these just poor little creatures in the road. There's nothing I can really do about it. I've got some dog treats in my bag, just in case I see anyone that needs a bit of love. The reason I stopped here is because there is an unfortunate soul not too far away, but I don't think I'll show it. It's not a very pretty sight, and yeah. I'm pretty impressed by the roads in Romania. They've definitely come a long way in 20 years. The road's ended again, which is kind of what I was worried about. We'll see how far I get. I might be walking. I think I'm here. Checking my car's locked. I think even if it was open, it'd be fine. No, I shouldn't word it quite like this, but I've actually found something. I found something to talk about. I found a place to go. This is the fortress at Turnu. I've just driven through the tiny, well, it's like a port town here. I've called Turnu Magarele, I think it's called. It's actually a bigger town than I was expecting it to be, but I suppose the reason it is built up is because it's a port, because the Danube River just goes right, just over there, and over the road from that is, well, over the water, is Bulgaria. So I guess there's lots of people transporting goods back and forth. But I found an honest to God thing. It's a fortress. Turnu Tower, or Turnu Fortress. It was built to protect Wallachia, the kingdom here, from the what it's called, what I've read a few times, it's called to protect them from the Turkish peril, which is the Ottoman Empire. And they didn't do the best job ever, because after in the very early 1400s, it was taken over by the Turks, the Ottoman Empire, and it remained with the Ottoman Empire until like the midway through the 1800s, when some people came down and said, "Sod this," and they set the fortress on fire and took it back. Well, I guess less taking it back, more if we can't have it, you can't have it either kind of situation. I'm just excited to be somewhere that has something. I can't get frustrated that the place that is the least visited place in Europe doesn't have that much on offer for tourists, because why would they? So I'm not like, oh, there's nothing here. I'm really enjoying their nothingness that is here, if that makes sense. Well, nothing for me. I mean, some people's whole lives are here, so to say there's nothing here would be not very nice to those people who born and raised in Teleorman, you know. I'm genuinely excited that there is something here. I drove an hour to get here. I've almost completed my 3-minute trip around it. You have to imagine this was just the central fortress, right? The central tower. And that there was a whole community around here. Otherwise, you're not going to get 20,000 men in there. And if you do, they're not going to be very comfortable. And while it seems like such a small little structure in the middle of absolutely nowhere, if you read the history of this place, tens of thousands of men died in these fields because of back and forth, overthrowing, I'm taking it, then you're taking it. And there's like images of full battles that have taken place right here. Thousands and thousands of people spilt their blood on the fields around here, protecting this. Sounds bizarre, but that's what they were protecting. I suppose they were protecting their nation more than anything else. Or trying to make their nation bigger if you're on the other side. I think this terminal is to pay for something. Looks like the gift centre's closed. That's it. That's Turnu Fortress. That's the whole place. I think we're done. Kind of hoping one of these little buildings would be a bathroom, but I think it might be behind a tree time for me. Without a doubt, that was worth it. With the trees and the cobbled path, this is the most Gladiator the movie street I think I've ever been on in my entire life. It really does feel like I'm in some place in southern Spain, having a dream about my dead wife and kids. I feel like I'm out for revenge walking down a street like this. Gonna kill myself an emperor. Or die trying. Tell you what, this car's doing a lot of squeaking. Oh God. 1, 2. You get this one. Go on. It's okay. Gosh, these dogs are very nervous. Yes. Go on. Go on, you're a good one. And one for you. Bye. Nice to meet you. I like to think I made their day. My heart absolutely breaks for the dogs around here. So this is the Danube River. I saw this on the map and it said pleasant new boardwalk that's been built. I don't know what I was expecting. Not this, but this is pleasant enough for me. So that's the Danube River. It's a bloody big river. And over there is Bulgaria. The sun has also come out, which I kind of wasn't expecting either. Bulgaria. What a great country. Love Bulgaria. Looks like that's a police checkpoint. I guess it's police boats for people crossing the river illegally, smuggling their goods. I did want to take a little bit of time and talk about the future of Yesland. It's coming towards the end of the year. Thinking about what I want to do in 2026. These 2 videos in Romania have been a bit of a test. I don't know how the test went because I'm still filming them. But, you know, I wanted to see if I was doing the Alone Across series, which really is the type of video that I like making. I love doing those. But they take such a long time to film. And I think I want to incorporate those types of videos in with these smaller kind of going off to a place to do a thing, like when I was in the Hoia Baciu forest. What I really want to do is have a release that comes out every week in 2026. I'm not sure how possible, feasible, expensive, realistic that is, but that's what I'd really like to do. Really dedicate the time and try to get some growth on the channel, obviously. That's what we all want on YouTube, but yeah, try to get a video out every week. But this year alone, I've already been to, 13 countries. I suppose one of those I didn't film in because I was just in Spain, but we'll see. I want to try though. I really want to try. I want to say, let me know what you think. Where do you think I should go? I like going to like festivals and weird traditions and fates and strange things, that type of stuff, Things that you can do in a weekend. If you've got any ideas, places I should go, oddities, peculiarities, cool stuff, I'm all ears. I'm the kind of person who thought, let's go to the least visited place in Europe. That would be a laugh riot. I'm pretty much up for most things, Well, thank you so much everyone for joining me in Teleorman. I've actually had a really good time. I don't know if I'd recommend it to many other people, but I've certainly liked it. Until next time everyone, be kind to yourself, be kind to someone else, and as always, onwards and upwards.